Once you have a clear understanding of your values, it becomes much easier to identify situations where saying no is the right choice. Welcome back to another episode of Declutter for Change podcast. I'm your host, Heather Clark, your declutter expert. Today, we're diving into a powerful yet often underused word, no. It might sound simple, but mastering the art of saying no can be a game changer to a calmer, more fulfilling life. Life can get cluttered, not just with the physical objects like clothes, books, old appliances overflowing from your basement, but also with obligations, expectations, and things that simply don't make us happy. We've all been there, feeling stretched thin and overwhelmed by a never ending to do list. Maybe you can picture yourself elbow deep in organizing your home, finally tackling that overflowing junk drawer when suddenly your well meaning grandmother shows up with a bag overflowing with treasures she doesn't want anymore. You love your grandmother dearly, of course, but the idea of inheriting someone else's clutter sends shivers down your spine. This is a classic decluttering scenario and a perfect example of where the power of saying no comes in. We often feel pressured to accept things out of politeness or a sense of obligation. But here's the truth: your home should be a sanctuary, a reflection of your own style and needs. Filling it with unwanted items creates more chaos than comfort. So, how do we politely but firmly say no to our dear grandmother or anyone else trying to fill our lives with things we don't need? Here are some strategies. First, express the gratitude. Let your grandmother know that you appreciate her thoughtfulness. You could say something like, "Thank you so much for thinking of me," but this sets a positive tone and shows her you value the relationship. Next, offer an alternative. Perhaps someone else in the family could use these items. Maybe your younger cousins starting their first apartment would appreciate some hand me downs. You could also suggest donating the items to charity in your grandmother's name. This allows her to feel good about the decluttering while ensuring the items go to someone who will truly benefit from them. Finally, if necessary, set boundaries. It's okay to be upfront about your preferences. A simple explanation like, "I appreciate the offer, but I prefer to be selective about what I bring into my home." This can be a perfect and polite way while still getting your point across. We're zooming in on a specific area where the power of no can truly shine: resisting the urge to shop for unnecessary items. Let's face it, we've all experienced the allure of a sale, a trending new gadget, or just browsing trap that turns into a full shopping bag. But the truth is, impulsive purchases can clutter our home and wallet, leaving us feel stressed and unsatisfied. So, how do we break free from the cycle of unnecessary shopping? Here are some strategies to say no and reclaim the control of your spending. Before I dive into the tactics, let's explore why you might fall prey to shopping sprees. Often, it boils down to deep seated desire for something more satisfaction, more convenience, or a sense of keeping up with the trends, or sometimes you're just bored. Marketers are experts at tapping into these emotions, bombarding you with messages that equate happiness with new possessions. The first step in becoming aware of your own shopping triggers is asking yourself, are there specific situations that make me more likely to overspend? Maybe it's a stressful day at work, boredom scrolling through social media, or walking past a tempting sale sign. Once you identify your own triggers, you can develop strategies to avoid them or manage the urge to buy impulsively. Next, let's talk about the difference between needs and wants. We all have essential needs for survival, like love, food, shelter, water, and clothing. However, wants are desires that can often be less tangible and more fleeting. Before you hit buy, take a moment and ask yourself, is this a need or a want? If it's a want, consider waiting 24 hours before purchasing. Throw that Amazon item into your shopping cart, save for later, and wait. Often, the initial urge to buy fades away within a day. Challenge yourself with a no buy period. Consider a no buy period for a specific category or a set amount of time. There are many variations, such as no buy week on clothes or a 30-day challenge without impulse purchases. This can be a powerful exercise in mindfulness and can help you rediscover the joy of what you already own. Sometimes, the most challenging part is shifting our mindset from more is better to the liberating concept of enough. Ask yourself, do you really need another notebook? What value would it add to your life? Focus on gratitude for what you already possess can be a powerful antidote to the urge to keep buying. If you do need to buy something, make the process more intentional. Research the product, compare prices, and consider buying secondhand or refurbished options. Hey, you could also ask grandma or other family members or friends if they have the items you're looking for. This deliberate approach helps avoid impulse purchases and ensures you're getting the best value for your money. Saying no to unnecessary shopping can be incredibly empowering. By becoming mindful of your triggers, prioritizing needs over wants, and embracing the concept of enough, you can free yourself from the cycle of consumerism and cultivate a more fulfilling lifestyle. Remember, a cluttered space often reflects a cluttered mind. Saying no to unnecessary shopping is not about deprivation, it's about aligning your spending with your values and creating space for the things that truly matter. And saying no doesn't just apply to physical objects. Our calendars often resemble a war zone filled with commitments that drain our energy and often leave us feeling overwhelmed. Let's face it, sometimes we have to say no to people and activities. Think about the last time you felt pressured to attend a social gathering you weren't interested in it. Maybe a friend invited you to a movie that didn't appeal to you, or a colleague suggested grabbing drinks after work when you were already dreading the long week ahead. How do we navigate these situations? When a friend invites you to something you're not interested in, be honest. You can say, that sounds fun, but I'm already swamped this week. Honesty is key to building strong relationships. You can also offer alternatives. Maybe suggest getting together for coffee next week instead, or suggest another activity you both would enjoy. Remember, it's okay to prioritize self care. Sometimes we just need some downtime to recharge. If you're feeling burnt out, don't be afraid to tell your friend, I appreciate the invite, but I need some time to recharge this weekend. A true friend will understand and respect your need for a break. I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever been in a situation where you struggled to say no? How did you handle it? Share your experience with me at heather@declutterforchange.com. I look forward to reading your responses. Saying no can also be about a stand for what you believe in. Maybe a friend asks you to participate in an activity that goes against your value, or maybe a work request conflicts with your ethical code. Now is the time to let your no roar. Here's how to align your life with the power of no. First, know your values. Spend some time reflecting on what truly matters to you. What are your core principles? What kind of life do you want to lead? Once you have a clear understanding of your values, it becomes much easier to identify situations where saying no is the right choice. Communicate clearly. If a friend asks you to do something that goes against your values, don't be afraid to explain why. You can say something like, I value honesty and I'm not comfortable participating in something that feels misleading. A direct and honest approach allows your friend to understand your perspective. Remember, it's always okay to offer alternatives. Maybe there's a way of achieving a similar goal in a way that aligns with everyone's values. This shows your willingness to work together while staying true to your own beliefs. When you say no to things that don't align to your value or drain your energy, you're essentially saying yes to a more fulfilled life. One of the most significant benefits is gaining more time. By eliminating unnecessary commitments and activities, you free up precious time for things that truly matter to you. Imagine the possibilities. You can spend more time with your loved ones, pursue a hobby, or finally learn that new skill that you've been putting off. Saying no can also lead to reduced stress. When you're constantly overloaded with commitments, it's easy to feel overwhelmed and burnt out. By learning to say no, you create a space in your life for relaxation and rejuvenation. Increased productivity is another perk. When you're focused on the right things and not bogged down by distractions, you will be surprised at how much more you can accomplish. Saying no allows you to prioritize tasks that contribute to your goals and eliminates those that don't. Let's not forget about relationships. Being honest about your boundaries and saying no when necessary can actually strengthen your relationships. True friends and loved ones will respect your needs and appreciate your honesty. The most important thing to remember is that saying no is a skill that takes practice. Don't be discouraged if you find it difficult at first. Here are some tips to help you build your confidence. Start small. Practice saying no in low stakes situations. Maybe decline an extra slice of cake or politely refuse to help a neighbor with a task you know you do not have time for. Imagine yourself confidently saying no in different situations. The more you rehearse it in your mind, the easier it will become in real life. Remember, it's okay to disappoint people sometimes. You cannot please everyone all the time, and that's perfectly okay. Focus on what's best for you and your well being. So, how can you incorporate the power of no into your life? This week, I challenge you to do a simple exercise. Take some time to reflect on your current commitments and obligations. Are there any activities or situations where you might be saying yes out of habit, even though they don't truly serve you? Identify a few areas where you can comfortably say no. Maybe it's declining an invitation to an event you're not interested in, or delegating a task at work that someone else can handle. Remember, your time, energy, and space are precious. Use them wisely. By embracing the power of no, you can take control of your life and create a calmer, more fulfilling path towards your goal. Take care. Remember, as you simplify, each item that you let go of brings you one step closer to a lighter, freer, more aligned life. As you clear out the clutter, be kind to yourself and celebrate your progress, no matter how small. Keep sorting, keep simplifying, and keep thriving. And hey, if you want more decluttering tips and inspiration or just want to connect, be sure to follow me on social media. You can find me at Declutter for Change. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, happy decluttering.